Hey, Love Squad. Okay, so this is my initial reaction to episode 6 of Lovecraft Country. You know what? These writers and their daggone cliffhangers. I have no words for the cliffhanger. I'm like, really though? So they gotta give her another episode. And really, this story, it deserves its own. The character, she deserves her own show. Like I want her to have her own show. What did I love? I loved, first of all, learning about a different kind of magic. That was so cool. I'm here for magical diversity. I loved it. This episode was a bridge episode, a little bit of a bridge episode, the way that episode 4 was. And to be honest with you, I wasn't actually expecting that. You know how episode 4, this is the Raiders of the Lost Ark episode, right? Where there was a lot going on, but the pacing just wasn't like it was in episode 5. You know what I mean? So that was a little bit of I wasn't expecting that, but the story was so rich and so good and so complicated. I mean, we have war, we have love, we have monsters dating monsters, that whole juxtaposition that they've done with like real monsters versus what can we say, magical monsters. I feel like I should just do a little recap for those who care to hear it. So I'm going to do a mini spoiler alert. I'm not going to go into like my full detail, kind of like what I'll do when I do the extended version of this. I'll just do the little Xfinity read for those of you who care to know. So this is Meet Me in Daegu. So Tick, let's see. We know that Tick was fighting in the war in Korea, right? So this is not really his story as much as it is Jia's, his girlfriend. I had nicknamed her Miss South Korea, but we come to find out that she is actually I should say the vessel of a monster, okay? And this was an agreement that her mother made with a shaman, because this monster is a man-eating monster, more or less. So Tick was, war is war. Tick was horrible in this episode. He was killing people because he's in a war. He's a soldier. That's what you do, unfortunately. And he killed her best friend. And he didn't even know. I mean, that's the foul part about it. He falls in love with the girl, don't even know. And she was like, oh, I'm going to make him one of my victims. Okay, long story short. But there's so much more to this story than that. But that's like the crux of it. What can I say? I have questions, but I don't know what the questions are. One of the questions that I have is, are they, Tick and Jia, my hope and question really is that they meet again. I hope that they have another encounter because, I know why. Spoiler alert. If you don't watch it, listen, watch it. Anyways, the priestess at the end of the episode was like, oh, you not done yet. Cause she thinking, I think they went to her. Well, Gia went to the priestess with the intention of getting clarification about what she saw, because a part of her man-eating ability is, she takes the souls of these men and she can see their entire lives, past, present, future, it looks like. So she was like, oh, he gonna die, but I ain't never seen no S like this before, so I want to know what's going on, what's really going on. The monster is asking about some magic that she ain't never seen before. And I want to say that's really interesting how you can be a magical being and be a monster and not really know about magic beyond your own. And I felt like that was interesting, but also kind of true to how this stuff works. You know, your spirit can be quite effective and quite powerful, but quite limited at the same time. And we see that with her. And it's interesting because in the story, we get this juxtaposition of her being this monster and how her human qualities, her humanity, is limiting her ability and her job as a monster, which is also interesting. And it reminds me of this concept of us, like the conscious, outward facing beings versus our shadow, and how those two sides of ourselves interplay with each other and interact with each other and affect each other. So that was interesting. That was interesting. Oh God, I'm getting more as I'm thinking about it. And if you guys watch the episode, then you know what happened to Gia, the human, right? So it's like this monster is born out of Gia, the human's shadow, like her suffering. Suffering begets suffering. We see that in the war, but we also see that within Gia. Like, had she not gone through the monstrosities that she did prior to becoming this monster, then who might she have become? You know, she probably would not be in these circumstances. I mean, there's a lot in this episode, so many layers. I expect and hope for another episode because this didn't feel complete. We know from the previews that we're about to get into Hippolyta's episode, which was my second favorite scene in the book after Ruby's scene that we just saw in episode 5. So I'm excited for that and here for that to see their interpretation of it. It's going to be good. Oh my God, I'm so excited. But I want to know more about these monsters. Like, so I'm assuming, I have to do my research, but I'm assuming that, that Gia's monster is a real monster in, Korean culture. So I'm really curious about that. And I want to know, like, what's up with this. And we need more. I want to see more monsters of the world. Like, I just thought that this was so fascinating. I had never heard of this before. And I was like, ooh, I'm here for this. Because y'all know I'm into the magic. So I was like, ooh, I want to know more about this man eating. Shall we call her a demon? Is she a demon? Yeah, more or less she is. But, yeah, I'm really here for it. And I'm really keen on it. So I'm excited. Yeah. I thought it was really interesting. I mean, episode 5 was just such a freaking doozy that it's just like, I know they're going to come 4, but it's hard to go up so high and then they bring us back down. Not so far, but you know, we're a little ways, a few notches down from where we were. We're going to level out. So I kind of, they're modulating our emotions and our feelings. They're doing a really good job of it. Overall, another very good episode, very interesting. And, I do pray because like, Gia does not exist in the book. So I really do want to see all of these characters cross paths because Gia could really help them with what she knows because she has seen everything. She knows everything. And that is very powerful. She is an oracle. But you know, one thing about this series is the magic stuff gets complicated by the human stuff. And now that we have Letty in the picture, that dynamic would also be interesting to see, and challenging and just a lot of different things. So yeah, this is my initial reaction. I liked it, but episode 5 was just so daggone good. It's just hard. And I can't wait to see what happens with Hippolyta's episode. I'm so excited. All right, guys, stay tuned for my extended commentary and talk to you soon. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and thank you so much. By the way, I'm so excited. You guys are starting to watch and it's building momentum. I actually wasn't expecting that, and I wasn't doing this for anyone else. I was doing this for myself, but it's fun and I'm excited. And like, you get a lot of energy when you create something, and it is viewed and it is appreciated. So thank you so much for that. And I totally cannot wait to see you in the next episode of Fandom. I forgot to say who I am. Hi, I'm Kimmy. You can follow me on IG at Glam Powered, and see you guys in the next episode. Bye.